Welcome, guys, to John's Football Channel. This is your post review to Man City 3, Crystal Palace 0. Very easy game for Man City, as you can see by the scoreline. Let's get into this post review. Starting off, we look at the lineups for Crystal Palace. Obviously, they went with Henderson in goal, Cabot as the left centre back, Lacroix, Richard as the other centre backs, and then if you look at the midfield, they went with Michael, Lamar, Hughes, and Mines as the midfield, and then ahead of them, Pino and Johnson, and then Mateta up front. As I mentioned, I was quite surprised to see him not in the Mateta and the starting lineup as a potential starting lineup, but here he is. Very surprised that he didn't do much with him being on the field and actually in this team. And then if you look at Man City's, they went with Donnarumma in goal, Nunez as the right back, Cavusco and Curry as the centre backs, and then Gavialio as the left back, and then Bernardo Silva as the CDM, Savio Foden and Nat as the midfield ahead of him, and then ahead of them they went with Semenyo and Mamouche. So it was also good to see Gabriel come back. This was his first game back after being injured, long time injury. And then it was also surprising to see, for one, the formation. The formation was quite different. I think we all expected there to be two CDMs, but now I think they knew that if they could keep Crystal Palace in their half, there wouldn't be much of a threat in order to worry them in the back line and cause them problems. And then also it was quite surprising to see there's two strikers, and I think hence why they took one CDM off. They will be able to provide that strength up front with two strikers now instead of having just one. So it was very good from Pep Guardiola to actually be creative and actually surprise Glasner with this formation. And another thing also with the players that he actually started. Pep Guardiola, I think we all expected to see Haaland, to see Doku, to see Cherki from the get-go. And no, it was actually the other way around. They actually basically played their second team with Savia, Foden, and Mamouche, and not Nori. So it was good to see that they were able to play the second team, and it was a credit from Pep Guardiola because now the first team are not as tired or shaky or anything. They know that the second team basically did the job, and they can actually move into the next game knowing that they're still fresh and ready to go. And then if we had to look as to how the game actually unfolded, obviously I think both teams were trying to get on the counter attack. We did see Crystal Palace trying to get the ball. There was a few times where they took it off Man City players and caught them on a counter, but I think they didn't actually utilize the counter quite well, and actually exploit them. And I think there was also a lot of midfielders in this game for Man City to actually cover the ground and actually probably be 2 or 3 men on one Crystal Palace player. And I think hence why it was basically Man City choking the hell out of Crystal Palace, and not giving them an opportunity to break and actually cause chances against Donnarumma. So the first goal, Foden receives it into the midfield. It was also a lot of interchanges between Mamouche and Semenyo in order to cause problems, to see who can utilize themselves in terms of the striking positions to actually go and score. But in this instance, it was Foden and Semenyo. Semenyo was trying to read the run, and very credit from Foden when he receives the ball. He was able to do a back pass into Semenyo's pass. Very good pass. I think no one expected it because he's obviously facing away from goal. And then Semenyo with a very good finish. He curls it away from the goalkeeper, and it rests on the left hand corner of the goals. Just barely going in, which was a very good goal because it's difficult for the keeper to get it, especially when the ball's running away from you. So a very good goal from Foden. I think in this game you could clearly see Foden was very, very, very hungry, and I think any player would, knowing that you haven't been playing a lot of football and a lot of games. I think he wanted to actually prove that he's actually still a part of this team and actually quite worth something. And I think this game actually showed exactly what Pep Guardiola has forgotten that Foden can probably do, and most of us as well. And then afterwards, there was a couple of another opportunities where Foden, before the second goal went in, where he also created a couple of few. There was a one where the ball, he feinted, he dropped the shoulder, and then crossed it in with Carvalho, ended up scoring again with a header. So another good goal, really good goal from him. And then this one in the 40th minute, where we see the ball, Foden actually drifts away from the midfield and goes to a striking position, and I think it was Marguerite finds him, and then afterwards Foden is able to know and be aware that Mamouche is also in the box, so he ends up taking a first touch into Mamouche's path. Mamouche actually lets the ball run past him, and actually ends up shooting after it runs past him and turns, and it ends up going ricocheting off one of the Crystal Palace's players and ends up going in the bottom of the net. So another good goal from the two of them. And it just showed how vital Foden was in this game. And then there was a couple of subs in the second half. I think Oliver Glasner didn't know exactly what to do and how to change the team. I think obviously at 2-0 it's quite difficult to actually change something. I mean, you can only attack, but the more you attack, the more you're going to leave your backline exposed, especially with the Man City. There's not much you can actually do. There's not much more you can attack, knowing that if you're gonna go probably a bit more increase that attack, you're gonna leave your back line and you're probably gonna get the third. And I think that's why he didn't do much, is because probably he didn't want the third goal to go in, and be a problem for them, and knowing that it's a wrap, it's done. There's nothing else we can do. I think that he wanted to stay in the game as much as possible, and he'll end up doing so. But just at the end, after all these subs, with Cherki coming on in the 79th minute, and then Kovacic coming on, and then Foden ends up coming off for John Stones. I think then afterwards, Cherki ends up giving an assist to Savio. Very, very good pass. I think they end up getting the ball in the midfield, and then Cherki ends up running with it, and a very, very good pass from Cherki into Savinho, and then Savinho just takes the first touch and slots it into the right-hand corner. And another good goal from them, another good play, and I think it also in this game we could really see there was a couple of times where Man City players were just losing the ball carelessly, and you could really see Pep Guardiola losing himself in the box, not telling the players this is the standard, this is where I need us to be, and you guys are moving away from that, and you guys need to find back to where I want us to be and where we need to be. And I think it's credit to him in a sense. I think hence why you can't be unfair and say that Pep Guardiola is not one of the best managers, I suppose, for this particular reason. I mean, most managers, if we had to think, even for us, we would think, okay, no, we need to know. I'll just sit and just watch the game go and unfold. But I think it just shows you that Pep Guardiola is on another level. He's wanting that extra pressure. He's wanting that expectation of perfection, and I think hence why we see a Man City team right now challenging for the title. And I think it is the reason why they are where they are and the titles they have won, because of the standards that they've created for themselves. And then if you look at the ball possession, not much we can say. I mean, it's fairly one-sided with 15 shots a total, and then 4 shots on target for Man City, whereas 2 for Crystal Palace. Touches in the opposition box, they have nearly 40, whereas Crystal Palace only have 9. And then big chances, they have Man City have 3, Crystal Palace have 0. And then we have a look at corners, Man City have 9, Crystal Palace only have 4. And then obviously Phil Foden is the man of the match. Credit to him for those 2 assists. Very, very good from him today. And I think I think hence why Pep Guardiola does what he does. Not playing players every week, it gives them opportunity to be even more hungry and more of a reason to prove something, to the player or to the manager who they need to replace. And I think hence why Foden, you basically unlocked the beast, because you haven't played him for so long. The only thing he can think of is the ball and actually to want to win and want to score. And I think you, in a sense, you probably move out of that mindset of, oh no, let me not get injured, or a sense of, let me just be easy or anything. No, I think at that stage when you haven't played for so long, then you can think of, how can I make a difference and how can I impact this team. And now we can obviously look at, for Man City, 36 for Arsenal and Man City. Arsenal have 79, Man City have 77. So Man City basically kept the pressure on, and it's up to the two teams now to maintain the standards and actually keep winning until the final end. But obviously Arsenal know that it's in their hands. If they win the next two games, they are Premier League titles champions. So they know that they can't mess up anything, and hopefully it goes down to the wire. Obviously, we all know that Arsenal is now seeing that Man City won. Obviously, Arsenal playing on Monday, which obviously means that they won't be winning the title in against Burnley. They'll only be winning it in their last match, when we all the teams play out in the game week. So yeah, guys, let me know down below what you guys think of this game. How do you guys see this game going? Very good game to watch. Very simple game for Man City at that. I think obviously with those two things, with the different types of players and the formation, I think it definitely caught Man City at Crystal Palace off guard. Something that they were not preparing for. I think they were all preparing for Haaland, and a different tactics, different personnel into the teams. And I think hence why Man City were able to get the win. It was risky. I think we will all give him that, but it pays off sometimes when you actually take the risk. So yeah, guys, this is my post review of Man City 3, Crystal Palace 0. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know down below what you guys thought of this game. Peace.